I'm Dustin.
I'm Molly.
And this is
Reviews for Humans!
Vampire Diaries.
Vampire Diaries! My favorite show, you guys!
I just spent 2 months watching season 1 and 2 of Vampire Diaries, a show that I have been avoiding for 2 years.
And now he regrets it.
Yeah.
Okay, so tonight we had the season 3 season premiere. First episode.
So here's what happened.
We're just going to read you the synopsis of what happened. The synopsis we took, okay? So, it's Elena's birthday. Bonnie is visiting her boring dad. Jeremy is working at the grill with Matt now. Caroline and Tyler are hanging out a lot. Elena is looking for Stefan with the sheriff's help. Damon is looking for Stefan with Andy Starr's and Alaric's help. And while looking for a werewolf, meanwhile, Klaus and Stefan are killing some bitches. They're killing. They find the werewolf and spend the whole episode torturing him in a bar. Caroline throws Elena a big B-Day party. Everybody comes. And Alaric realizes he should not be hanging out with teenagers and vampires and moves out of Elena's house. Jeremy is seeing the ghosts of Slutty Vicky and Anna. Klaus sends Stefan back to Mystic Falls to warn Damon to stop looking for him. He kills Andy. Jeremy and Matt bond over pot. Then Jeremy tells Matt about seeing Slutty Vicky. Matt does not believe him. Caroline gets jealous when Tyler brings a date to the B-Day party. They end up hooking up. Elena discovers that Damon has been tracking Stefan. He's keeping all this stuff in his closet. With like map, little pins and everything. And Damon tells her that the victims have all been Stefan's and he's not coming back in her lifetime. And when leaving Tyler's house, Mrs. Lockwood, oh yeah, because Caroline and Tyler, mind you, hooked up, and Caroline was ditching him in the middle of the night. Mrs. Lockwood stops Caroline, shoots her with vervain. And Stefan calls Elena on the phone later that night when Elena's all alone. Elena picks up the phone, it's an unknown caller. She's like, Stefan? And he doesn't say anything. And she tells him, I love you, Stefan. Hold on to that. Even though you're a crazy serial killer now.
Kill the vampire.
Anyway, so that's the synopsis.
That's what happened.
What did we like?
Well, I personally... I'm gonna put the computer over there. So I liked the... I liked Andy Starr's death. I liked...
No!
the way that they did that, actually. I would have rather her live.
So she's... Stefan calls Damon to the station.
No, he sends her a text on Andy's phone.
Andy sends Damon a text.
Come pick me up. And so Damon like goes in there and he's like, where are you?
Girlfriend, and he really does like her.
He likes her. And so he goes in there and Stefan is waiting for him. He's like, Stefan. And seriously.
Stefan's like, stop looking for me, brother.
And he's like, no, brother. I can't stop looking for you. And then he's like, oh yeah? Well, look up there. There's Andy. She's standing on like this catwalk high up in the studio. And Stefan has compelled her to stand on the top of this catwalk, and then he tells her, you can move now. And she like steps off and falls to her death.
Stefan doesn't let Damon catch her. He sweeps him over to the side. Oh, it was so horrible. Poor Damon. And then later, he goes home to the party that's still happening, the birthday party, and goes up to his room. And
Elena's being all bitch pants, like, pushy. I can't believe you were tracking him without telling me.
And he says, not right now, I'm having a really bad night. And she should know better. When Damon says he's having a bad night, you say, what happened?
Something's
you don't ignore it. You don't just ignore that if Damon's having a bad night. Something bad happened and you ask about it. And she just ignores it.
She didn't.
She's all like, why do you have all this information on Stefan? You didn't tell me.
So if you want to play a drinking game that will ruin your liver, every time somebody cries out into the night, Stefan, drink and you will die. You will die young.
Hold on to that.
You will die young and drunk. young and drunk.
But what else do we like?
I liked the reveal that the reason that Stefan doesn't drink blood is because she turns into a serial killer when he drinks blood.
When Alaric and Damon go out looking for Stefan,
they go to the bitch's house that they killed.
They go there and he's got it all set up, and Damon explains he kills them because once he takes the blood in, he blacks out. He doesn't know what he's doing,
and he then rips them in pieces.
And then he like rips them in pieces, and then he feels remorse afterwards and sets their bodies all up like he feels remorse. That's exactly the kind of thing a serial killer does.
Their heads fell off.
Like, why are we supposed to like this guy?
Off. The heads fell. And so that was pretty cool.
That was good.
You know, of course, leave it to this show to give Stefan like an actual personality and make him worse.
Mm-hmm. We're not big Stefan fans.
Mm-hmm. You know, but
Sad Sack Matt is more interesting. Matt. Sad Sack Matt. He's so sad. He misses his sister Vicky.
Awful. So what else did we like? The Caroline Tyler thing is going to be really cool. Like, how is Mrs. Lockwood?
That would be good.
Like, how are we going to escape the clutches of Mrs. Lockwood?
I think it's a really good setup for the start of the season.
Yeah.
I like Klaus is so evil and Stefan's psychotic and Damon doesn't know what to do with himself.
You know, I watched the first 2 seasons in like a month, 2 months. I was kind of like, that's kind of thinking like the quiet one, the sensitive one. He's always crazy. If you learn,
that's what they say.
Girls, if you learn anything from today, if he's quiet and sensitive, he's got heads in the basement. So, you know, that was cool to see.
Oh, I like the flirting with the Damon and Damon putting Elena's necklace back on her. He gives her the necklace, her vervain necklace.
Oh yeah.
Her bidet.
That was good. Oh, and you get a little naked Ian Somerhalder.
Ian Somerhalder.
Salmon holder.
Somerhalder.
Well, okay. Yeah, he was in the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of okay. It was okay.
They could do that more.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything bad to say about this episode. It was a good setup.
Although it is kind of weird, like Alaric's leaving an 18-year-old in charge of his or her 16-year-old.
We don't ask those questions here on Vampire Diaries. People don't need parents.
No, apparently not.
And if you're a grown woman on this show and you've had any kind of love interest with anybody,
you dated anyone, you want to date.
Just if you're a grown woman on this show, Jenna, Jules,
every woman who just wanders into the frame is going to die. Horribly.
A Rose, 4.
Just
four
random chicks like walking down the street have died horribly.
Where was Catherine?
You have more than 2 lines on the show.
We didn't see Catherine.
Oh, you didn't see Catherine. I love Catherine.
We love Catherine. She's fabulous.
So anyway,
that was good. So now it's time for Scene of the Week.
Okay.
Damon, why do you have all these papers about Stefan?
It really is not a good time for me, to be honest. I had a bad night.
You're following him. You didn't tell me.
Listen, I really had a bad night tonight. I'm not going to tell you anything.
You need to tell me why you have all these papers.
Listen, Elena, I really don't feel like it right now.
You need to tell me right now. I'm going to ignore your feelings because everything is about me and Stefan.
Listen, Elena, he's not the same Stefan you knew. He's the one who's been killing all the people.
Don't say that.
He's not the same man. He's never coming back. Not in your lifetime. Painful grunt.
Sad face, Stefan.
So, I'm Dustin.
I'm Molly.
And this has been
Reviews for Humans.
Vampire Diaries. Okay. Stefan!
Stefan, no!
Rawr, 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 rawr.